Trees don't set New Year's resolutions, and neither should you. There's a big maple tree that is behind my house, and season after season I watch as it goes through the various changes. In the springtime, there are buds that form on the branches, which then emerge into full-fledged green leaves in the summer. By fall, those green leaves turn to yellow, and it's so bright that the reflection of the leaves bounce off my walls in my office. And then, of course, in the winter, the leaves fall, and the maple tree looks bare and barren as its brown trunk and branches contrast with the winter's gray and white palette. Now, it'd be easy to make the mistake of thinking that that maple tree is not doing anything, when in fact that maple tree is busy doing some internal work. And what is it doing? It's getting itself ready for the harshness of the winter months to come. So for more north countries in the northern hemisphere, January and February is deep into the winter season. And as the temperature drops, that maple tree, in addition to millions of trees throughout many countries in the northern hemisphere, go through an internal transformation as it gets ready for the cold temperatures ahead. And what it does is something called acclimation. And that's where it does something internally to prevent the water inside of its trunk from freezing. Because if it were to freeze, then the tree would expand, and that wouldn't be good for the health of that maple tree in my backyard. Now imagine if the maple tree behind my house decides to fold under the pressure of making New Year's resolutions. That as soon as the clock strikes midnight on January 1st, it's suddenly going to say, I'm going to sprout some new buds here in January. Well, that would be kind of silly, since that is not what's in that tree's nature. And for us, we can learn so much from our relatives, the trees. And one thing we can learn is that January 1st is a lousy time to make resolutions or words of the years or intentions or whatever it is that people are calling resolutions without using the word resolutions. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere and the clock strikes midnight on January 1st, you may think that this doesn't apply to you, but it does, because the summer months is not meant for rushing and doing things fast and with urgency. Instead, summer teaches us to slow down and enjoy the slow pace of what summer has to bring. And so whether you are in the southern hemisphere enjoying the warmth on January 1st, or in the northern hemisphere surviving the cold on January 1st, this advice still remains, because ultimately it's our relatives, the trees, that have so much to teach us. And here's the thing, most will quit their New Year's resolution by January 12th. It's known as Quitter's Day, and people will sometimes not even remember the New Year's resolution they put together. And then the shame and the guilt and the humiliation all start to take root. And then this is the thing we do year after year after year, trying to do the same thing, but ending up with the same results. So ultimately, it's not a lack of willpower that causes us to quit our New Year's resolutions. It's simply that we are disconnected from ourselves, which means that we're also disconnected to nature, in particular trees. And if you want to break this cycle of setting a New Year's resolution and then failing at it, and then 12 months later doing the same thing again, year after year, this may be the year to try something different. The creation of new habits at this time of year is completely out of alignment if we are to follow the tips that our relatives, the trees, is trying to teach us. One action you can take is to get a copy of the multi-award-winning book, Inner Field Trip. It contains journaling and doodling prompts on this topic and many others. This book is based on 7 years of research and helps you to meet the shadowy parts of your innermost trail with compassion, creativity, and curiosity. Now, there are some who have gone through the book and have said to me, Lisa, I started going through the chapters, but I kind of lost my way. And quite frankly, there are some people who need to go on this quest in community with others. That's where you can join us in community in the Inner Field Trip Base Camp. There we have a special area called the Group Grotto, our cozy little spot within the online membership community where we go through the prompts, both ones outlined in the book and brand new ones that I'm testing out for a future volume of the Inner Field Trip book. Within the Group Grotto, it allows you to share your discoveries and to be celebrated by others that are going on the same quest as you are. You can always go to the Inner Field Trip website and click on Become a Member in order to read more information on how to start your membership within the Inner Field Trip Base Camp. As someone that has guided people through their inner field trips since 2015, I know that there's a very small percentage of folks who may struggle with the memories that come up after going through the journaling prompts, whether on their own using the multi-award-winning book or within community in the Inner Field Trip Base Camp. So as a licensed therapist, I suggest that you seek out the support of a mental health professional. They can help you to identify the unhelpful cognitions and apply interventions that can help you to recover and get healthy emotionally. So during this time, instead of rushing to make a New Year's resolution, it's time to do some internal work. Slow down, go within, and explore your innermost trail. Like the maple tree in my backyard, this is a time of year when you should turn inward, contemplate, and self-reflect, focusing on internal changes that will take root for you in the long run. Trek bravely.